This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX for $19 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvietto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orviettosawards.com. Orvietto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moodius Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moodius Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodius.dental. Moodius Dental, Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodiusdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rheaume. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rheaume can help.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, CuttersEdgePro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that, the two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that, I gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them, they like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do, they play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden, she's the girl right here. She's a badass, that's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. CuttersEdgePro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you're getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Ready to rock and roll. Yes, sir. It is Friday, June 13th, day number 18,736 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi trophy. Welcome aboard, yes, sir. And last night was painful as the Florida Panthers lost to the Oilers 5-4 in overtime. And, hey, man, you know, those stinking Dolphins, they're polluting our Panthers. It's amazing. And poor Sean, he's so paranoid he had to check the audio. He's checking everything, making sure after yesterday. What the hell is StreamYard up to today? They only screw up one time in 5 years. And we treat them like criminals now.
I checked this morning before I left the house. I hooked up. The first thing I checked was make sure it's here. Fool me once, shame on me.
It works.
Fool me twice, shame. What? Yeah, whatever.
Fool me once, don't fool me again. You remember the Bush Jr. on? There you go. It's just a hilarious drop. I got to go one day in the studio and just go through funny drops that I have of life in the last couple decades, because that's what it is. It's decades of audio from me collecting it over the years. Anyway, I don't really do a ton of that anymore. I don't do any of that anymore, of collecting all that audio, but I do have a lot of that classic audio. Oh, my Lord. We got ourselves a 3-game series. That's it. The entire season. This is why we keep you guys level-headed on this show, right? The good and the bad. When it was game 3, I told you, yo, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Easy. Because, you know, yeah, it was a nice win, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't win game 4. And there you go. There you go. It was rough last night. It was rough. You're leading 3-0, and to lose that lead, and that's because you lost your edge. And we talked about that last night. If you guys want, please check out the post-game show. Gave you a complete breakdown of the game, and we broke down why the Miami Dolphins and their players should not be allowed anywhere near the Panthers. I don't want them near the Panthers. I don't want them near the Fort Lauderdale United. I don't want them near Nova Southeastern University. Okay? These programs that are winning, like tomorrow night, they're going for the championship. The USL Super League Championship. The ladies are going for it. I mean, that's huge. I mean, come on.
Think about this. Nova Southeastern and Fort Lauderdale United exterminated the stank from the Dolphins training facility over there.
Yes.
Think about it, because that was, if you want to talk about, the bad burial grounds, and they trained over there forever. They've left. And since they've left, it's been better.
Right. And last night, the Panthers tried to fight off the stank of the Dolphins.
I knew we were in trouble when they sent out Dolphins Great banging on the drum. I was like, no!
When I saw Josh Moser post that, I don't know if he broke it or somebody else. I don't really give a shit. But I saw Moser the Hoser. It just rhymes. I'm having fun with it. Josh is a terrific young man. I saw him post it. I said, oh, my God. Why? Why would you put a dolphin in your building? It's just not right. Don't put a dolphin in your building. Don't be associated with those people until they actually, wipe the stank off themselves. Don't bring them in, dude. You cannot be associated. Yeah, man. We disappointed Taylor Swift last night. Taylor Swift and Kelsey were in the house, and we disappointed them. You had the bald-headed Drake hitting the drum, and it just doesn't go. Just no more Dolphins. That's it. Sorry. I mean, the organization gets what they deserve right now. They've got to be treated like the plague, because it's kind of what they are, unfortunately. So I'm just saying, yeah, keep those people away from your. By the way, one more thing. They put David Furones on the beat, and they lost. So he brought the Dolphin, and we're going to talk to him in the second hour. He's traveling right now, and yesterday he was going to join us, and I was going to talk to him about that, because I go, bro, you're covering the game tonight, and you're going to bring that Dolphin stank that you have. It's not your fault. It's not Jason's fault. He's a great player. My God. But unfortunately, he played for the Dolphins, the stank Dolphins. And so now he's carrying. And so now these reporters, these writers that are there every day, they walk over. You know what it is? Shad's there too. It's Pigpen. It's Pigpen from Peanuts. So in the Peanuts, Charlie Brown, Pigpen is the one that's walking around, and there's that cloud of dust all over. When you hang out in that Dolphin facility a little too long, Pigpen. You get Pigpenned. You get pee-peed. And then you poo-poo over everybody. After you get pee-peed, you poo-poo. And this is a combination that we've got to end. Okay? Call Terminex. Do whatever you got to do. Orkin. I don't know. Who's the best now? Truly Nolan? Exterminate. Don't allow Dolphin players, former, current, coaches, whatever. And what am I going to see Dave Wanstead hit the damn drum on the next game? Come on, guys. Here we go. And come on. So no more bad luck in the house for the Panthers. Exterminate them. Maybe we should put a tent over the whole arena. They are on the road in Edmonton. So while they're on the road, we exterminate the stank of Dolphin players and reporters. We tent the bitch for a day or two. I think we do that. Call Pepe down in Little Havana. He's got a couple of extra big cheats to cover that cheat, and we'll be all right. Yes, sir.
And they're taking fresh stank over there too because they're going to OTAs in the morning.
Fresh stank. Yeah, right from OTA. Yeah. Unshowered stank from OTAs.
Just took it straight over.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. You know Shad didn't go all the way back to Boca, right?
No, of course not. Of course not. Shad stuck around, walked into the men's bathroom, went, I'm ready for the second half of the day.
Couple laps at Sawgrass and head straight in.
He leached some food at the Amerant Bank Arena. That's it. That's what's going on. Anyway, good morning to you all out there. I hope you guys had a great night outside of that damn Panthers game. But that'll be all right. Don't worry about it. Saturday will be Game 5 in Edmonton on TNT at 8 o'clock. Tonight is Game 4, Thunder and Pacers. Saturday, the ladies of the Fort Lauderdale United go for the championship in the USL Super League final against Tampa Bay Sun. They're on the road there in Tampa. And then at Hard Rock Stadium, the FIFA World Cup as Al Ahly taking on Inter Miami. And that'll be at 8, and we'll see if Inter Miami can move on in that tournament.
You know, out of the 70 teams, we had the 7th best kit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Inter Miami. 7th best kit.
I like it. We do have killer colors in the combination.
Yeah.
You know, choking team. But, yeah. By the way, do Dolphin players hang around Inter Miami? Is that why they couldn't even get out of the first round last year? I wonder. Were there any Dolphin players hanging around Inter Miami last year during those during that whole thing? Yeah, there was probably a Dolphin player somewhere in the building screwing things up.
Maybe the wind takes it that way.
Yeah. It could be. By the way, the Chick-fil-A mobile app and then the mobile row is one of the greatest inventions of all time. Now, I order everything through the app. Do you? You know why? Because you get the points. So eventually, you know, those of us that aren't rich, you get a little break down the line. You get a free biscuit or whatever because, you've accumulated enough points for a free biscuit, and then you take it, or a sandwich or something. But that thing now, and I always go to, because the one by my house on Kendall Drive, that one is just a regular line. So even if you order through mobile phone, it won't matter. You just, when you get to the thing, you just have mobile order and you give your name and that's it. But here, it's a regular line and then a mobile line. So you don't even talk to anybody. You just drive right up to the window and you show your phone up to it, and it picks up the order from the app, and it tells you, okay, your order's on its way, and you just pull in and you just keep going. So if there's a bunch of people in line waiting, you're going right ahead of all of them, dude. There wasn't anybody. I think there was one person that I got ahead of, and not a big deal. But it is so cool when you already ordered and you just pull it, you go like that, and there's like 7 people in line. You're like, y'all, man, y'all ain't getting it, bro.
So we do it.
You ain't getting modernized.
We go to BJ's. We pay for everything. You can pay for it as you like you scan it as you're getting it.
Yeah.
And then you can pay for it, and you can skip the line.
Right.
On the app.
Right.
So that's what we do. And then, like, when we walk by, the line's like down to the meat section, and you just walk by everybody, and they're just looking at you like, where the hell do they think they're going?
It's like driving on Sawgrass to Tampa and back. and then you're going right through the Sun Pass, and then there's a group of people just paying. And you're like, yo, dude, what's wrong with you, bro? What's wrong with you, man? Y'all got to get hooked up, bro. You know, you got to get modernized. Yo. Anyway, so Chick-fil-A, 2-lane mobile, modernized. Very good. Very good. Tomorrow is the official day, but since we're on today is when we got to talk about it. Tomorrow is officially our 5th anniversary. Okay? 5th anniversary. I think Larry Schlossberg bought Sean this or something. I don't know. He's got a loaded MDX, I think. There you go. There you go. Obviously, Acura Pembroke Pines has been with us, my show, okay, for like 14 years. But they've been with us all 5 years here on the platform. And they've been through and through with us. And you know, they're going to be part of our sponsorship going to Madrid and all that kind of stuff. So, we are not tied to any corporate entity, which allows me the freedom to express myself and give my opinion on anything without any kind of interference. Not that I really allowed interferences anyway when I was doing the job with corporate entities, but I did have to battle a lot when I would get off the air. Hey, can we talk to you about this? And so I don't have that anymore. And it's been 5 years. And, you know, most people thought we would last 5 months. And so we made it through a pandemic. We've made it through everything pretty much. And we've traveled around the country. Now, for the first time, we're going to travel internationally. We're going to broadcast from a Dolphins bar in Madrid. You know, we've broadcast from Dolphins bars in Los Angeles, in Las Vegas, in Buffalo, in Manhattan, in Flagler Beach, all over the country. And we've been really blessed. And we've been really blessed with great sponsors like Acura Pembroke Pines, across the street, Subaru of Pembroke Pines, Toyota of Hollywood, Baptist Health, Cutter's Edge Pro, Welton Rheaume, dude. I mean, Welton Rheaume has been with us from day freaking one. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Caneswear, BigCheeseMiami.com. It's just R&M Contractors. Ray has been just an absolute amazing human being and beautiful person, and then a great sponsor of ours. I can't say enough about Herbie Lopez at Toyota of Hollywood, who has always been with us, even in the pandemic times. He was with us. Moodius Dental, the Moodius family, just absolutely awesome. Aaliyah Park has been with me for about 20 years, dude. 20 years. And when I said I was doing this, they looked at me and like, what the hell are you doing? Because I started doing something that people, now it's normal. 5 years ago, it wasn't normal. And when I wanted to make a plan to get the hell out of QAM, because I knew that this was the future and that radio was dying, which, it's practically dead. I mean, man, I heard some stupid shit on Joe Rose's show today. Anyway, so just I've been so blessed to basically doing my job. I do it. I always did it my way when I was with corporate for 30 years. But now the last 5 years on our own, this has been the most satisfying time ever. I don't answer to anybody. I get to speak my mind. If I want to talk about, the economy and Bitcoin and how both sides affect it or help it or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. If I want to talk about music, if I want to talk about life, if I want to talk about sports, like we do a lot, but to have the platform for 5 years, for Sean and I to have the freedom to make a living, to support our families, the fact that you guys support us, hit the like button, which there's less than half the likes of the people watching. Come on, man. Let's go. Anniversary show. Let's go. Let's go. Hit the like button. Get the algorithms going. Thank you all out there. Really appreciate it immensely. It means a lot. And, obviously people watch the show, listen to the show at their discretion later on next week, whatever it is, whenever they watch or listen to the show. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All of you out there, you know who you are. You keep us going every day by watching, by hitting the like button, by making a donation to the show, whether you're helping us get to Madrid, whether you're donating because it's out of your heart. A lot of people tell me you should create a subscription and all of that. I don't feel like tying people down to paying monthly. I'd rather, I'm a karma guy. So I spread good karma. You get good karma. That's kind of the way it goes. And so for me, I'd rather just people tune in, either follow because you really like it, because you really appreciate it, and then you really want to support it. If you don't, that's fine with me, dude. You can move on. I'm going to live my life. I'm not going to change. I am who I am. I'm going to be brutally honest about everything. It's not going to, some people are going to like it. Some people aren't. And I can live with that. You know what I mean? I've always been fine with that. But thank you all out there. However it is, you supported our show by sharing it, watching it, liking it, donating, whatever it is, buying a shirt, hat, whatever. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Just feels good. 5 years, bro. 5 years. Not easy. Not easy to do. In fact, most can't. And so we're blessed that we're able to do it. I see NorCal there in the house. Going over the chat board. By the way, we, of course, here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Just was talking to Larry right now. And we're at 15601 Pines Boulevard. Come on by and say hi. Appreciate it as always. And they've always got some great deals going on here at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. They've got a great service center too. Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, great people, man. So make sure you come on out here. And by the way, Acura is born and made here in the U.S. So if you're worried about tariffs and all that, well, you won't have that issue with the Acura models here. So come on down, and great selection too, as always. I don't know how Larry does it, even in the pandemic times where other dealerships were struggling with selection. Larry was always loaded, dude. Yeah. I mean, you're right. Yeah. Yes, it is. That is a new color. Yes. Yeah, it's like a mustard gold. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. Very nice. So check it out. Great selection, certified pre-owned vehicles. And of course, tell them that we sent you. Okay.
See, they started going two tones on the ZDX.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, ZDXs are and they're tanks because my wife has beaten hers up for 15 years, dude. And it runs like a champ. Brian Radke, One-Eyed Jack. Thank you. Dolphin Dave. If this head coach thinks he can become bad cop now, it's too late. Yeah, no, well, we've talked about that, Dave. That's your emotions sway too much, my brother. I've been telling you for months, this is a transition year. This is a BS year. They know that's not the guy anymore. and all that rhetoric you hear is all phony crap, and this thing will come crashing. And this is all about, we wait for the day that they fire McDaniel and they hire Weaver, and that's what we're waiting for. And who are we kidding? So you gotta just, Dolphin Dave, I get it. You want to hold out hope and all that kind of stuff. That was the last couple of years when you had the teams and you were trying to find out if this guy was the guy. We know he's not the guy, and now he has the lesser of the teams he's ever had. That means you're going to need a great, great coach to overcome that, and he is none of that. So you got to let it go, dude. You got to let it go. Jeff says, I'm going to see Simple Minds, Soft Cell, and Modern English at Jones Beach Theater. I never saw them. I'm sure you did. Thoughts, please. Okay. First of all, Simple Minds, you're fine. God, I'm forgetting his name now, but he still sounds good. Okay, so the power is still in the voice. All good. Soft Cell, Mark Aldman, I don't think he's ever really lost his voice, and it's only a couple of songs that you want to hear from him anyways. The interesting part, tell me if he does the Tears Run Rings Around My Eyes. If he does that song, that's one of his more popular songs from his solo career. Obviously, you're going to want to go see Tainted Love. So Tears Run Rings, tell me if he does that song. That'll be cool. He should do it because it's one of his best songs. Modern English, you will love. I saw them a couple of years ago, about 2-3 years ago. I saw them over in Club Space, and they sounded fantastic still. And they actually put on a really good show. Okay? So, I think you're in for a treat. All right, Jeff? I give you a pass on all of those. You're not seeing anybody that can't carry a note still, which is actually really cool. All right? Just to give you a heads up on that. What else do we have here? Cosa Nostra, Jay Gelfin, Shabbat Shalom, my friend. He says, still hurting from last night's Panther loss. Best 2 out of 3. Excited for Fort Lauderdale United tomorrow night. That's right. That's right. Horn Dog is in the house. Lenny Pena, missed opportunity. Yep. Big time, Lenny. They missed it yesterday. Aquavision. Rosendo, we now got ourselves a series. Great game last night, except for the results. I don't know, man. That second period doesn't make it a great game. But, when you let off the gas, the Panthers last night got what they deserved. That's all. You don't keep the foot on the pedal on the metal. And when you've got a shot to go for the jugular, bro, you got to go for the jugular. You've got to finish them off. You got to demoralize them. And you thought you had them at 3-0, and kudos to them. Last night, you just got to say, hey, man, the Oilers responded, and the Panthers did not. They got lazy, and they paid the price. Yeah.
And a good move by the Edmonton coach, too.
Pull the goalie?
No, he pulled the goalie, but then they moved Evander Kane, who was making all the mistakes in the first period, to the fourth line, and they didn't use the fourth line as much.
Yeah, he was making stupid mistakes.
They kept the stupid mistakes down, and he made that call, and it changed, because then we started making some dumb all three or two of the three I know came on a power play in the second. So.
I got to say something. If I'm them, I start the other goalie again for like 2 minutes and then bring in Skinner. Because he's 7-0.
Pickard guys, he brings a
Pickard is 7-0, and you just start Skinner, let him screw it up, and then just boom.
Yeah, that's it. He changed the team. He changed the dynamics of the team. Just little things that he did that, again, I think Skinner lost confidence too because he was just giving up goals.
Lisa Rose, thank you. Morning, John Santos. Thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate it as always. Thank you. Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana and Chainlink donation too, which we invest in all four. Yuri Cristofanti, thank you as always for your dedication, sir, to the platform, and thank you, sir, for the donation. Says great job as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very nice of you, sir. Very nice. I appreciate it immensely. Let's see. Brian Radke on Cash App. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, congratulations on 5 years. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, Brian, we don't make it for 5 years. So appreciate that. So every little bit helps for all of us. Thank you. Let's see. Steven Gonzalez in the house. Ty in the Bronx. Ryan C. Finns, he was with us yesterday. Lou from Dade is smashing it, baby. And the like button, too. Rosendo, thanks for the reminder, Big O. You know how to kick a Dolphins fan in the gut. Bro, I've been getting kicked in the by the Dolphins for 40 years now. I still remember I'm sitting there in Hialeah, and I'm watching the San Francisco Niners kick our ass, and the terrible mood I was in for the rest of that night, and then like the following week. It was just like, it was so demoralizing. Just demoralizing. And then you realize after that was the only chance Marino was ever going to get, because we never built teams around Marino. And we continue to do that. We still don't know how to build teams around quarterbacks. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. And then stupid people just blame the quarterback. And it's just, whatever. I was driving today on the way here, and I tuned into Joe Rose's show, and I just heard just a bunch of stupid shit. And it wasn't really from Joe. It was from a guest. It was just stupid shit. Typical crap. This is why a lot of you are dumb, because a lot of our media is dumb. And so when we have media that all they do is want to clickbait, that's the problem when you're run by corporations and all that kind of stuff. As a run by the peoples. That's the difference. Anyway, Josh is in. Thank you, Josh, for the love. I appreciate it. We try to entertain and have a little fun at the same time. You get it. You get the show, dude. Some people don't. They take it too serious. What's coming up? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Juan Rosa, Lenny Pena, Jamie Zoria in San Jose. Everyone had a great week. Thank you, sir, for smashing it, and the like button too. Brian Landis, Chris Jordan. I'm driving back for the. I'm back driving for the Patriots again. Hopefully, long shot. I'll get my 4th ring. LOL. Skylar Tipton. Brett says most hockey people believe that a 3-0 first intermission lead can be trouble, since many teams take their foot off the gas and let the opposition take the play to them, just like last night. That's why, Brett, after game 3, I said, yo, pump the brakes, bro. It's just a win. It's 6-1. It doesn't mean crap. You got to win game 4 for game 3. For 6-1 to matter, you have to win game 4. That's what I told everybody. Then you can get cocky because you're up 3-1. Because you understand hockey better than I do, Brett. So, that's why I didn't get high about the 6-1 win and up 2-1, because I've seen this. I'm old, dude. I've been around a while. And you needed game 4 to justify game 3. Now we've got ourselves a 3-game set. That's it. And 2 of the 3 are on the road. So that's what you get for laying the foot off the gas against a great team. It bit you in the ass, and when you tried to put the foot on the pedal on the metal again, the transmission was skipping. It was skipping. You're and
No. And then the teeth grabbed in a little bit, and you got a little moment, and you lost it again. You better go to Wee Transmissions and fix the bitch. Let's go Skylar Tipton. No, it wasn't the Swift curse. No. It's all Dolphins. Don't do that. Don't do that. Swiftie wins everywhere. She fills stadiums. She got back her catalog. She's got her man. She's constantly winning, dude. She is the lucky charm. Okay? The Dolphins, they're only known for losing. They're only known for being saps. That's all I've since when I was 7 and 8 years old, I was a champion with the Dolphins. And 73 and 74. Okay, great. After that, what do I got? What do I got? Right. At 7 and 8, that was my peak. Thank God that wasn't like other things in life that would have been your peak. Anyway. What else do we have? Les Jams, Kendrick Lamar, back-to-back sold-out shows in Toronto. There you go. Hey, listen, as long as it's not Drake, that's all. Thank you, NorCal, for the happy anniversaries. Appreciate you. Flea Torres, come up to Orlando at the Hideaway. Okay, my friend. Alexis Palenzuela. Brett, thank you for the congrats. That means almost 1,100 hours of solo broadcast, assuming 5 days a week and 4 hours a day. LOL. I've done those 4-hour shows. But now, yeah, actually on radio, by radio standards, our 2 hours are like 6 hours. Howdy, once we get rid of the wedding planner coach, do we get draft compensation for promoting Weaver to head coach? That's funny. I like that. Big O, the movie Jaws is 50 years old this year. Still remember where I was when I saw it, rented it from Blockbuster, saw it on VHS. If I'm in Miami for July 4th, Flanagan's and Jaws tradition. Yeah, but you weren't around. I was in line to watch Jaws. Miracle Theater in Coral Gables. What was it? 76, I want to say. 77 is Jaws, something like that. I remember, dude. And the line was whipping around the block and then back around to the left side. And if I remember correctly, diagonally across the street wasn't it Dearborn High School? Dearborn School, right? Dearborn Private School. It was like right by there. 75, dude. Look at that. 78 was yours too? Yours too? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The 3D. I remember that. What a turd that movie was. But hey, Leah Thompson is in that movie. She's such a cutie. So, yeah. Let's see. Dolphin Dave, thank you, Big O. We have the best. Thanks for the show. Thank you. Very nice of you. Sam the Man, giving up on the season ain't even started yet. Oh, God, yeah. I gave up on the Heat season last year, but also, yeah. By the way, Sam, didn't I say the season was over after the Colts loss last year? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't I bet the Marlins would lose 100 games? Didn't I say they would lose 100 games last year? Sam the Man, what you should learn out of the history, you may not want to go against my history because I keep it real, bro. Of course I want him to win. Of course I want him to. Yes. That's not the reality that we live in. You know what I mean? I live in reality. If you want to stay in fantasy, you can stay in fantasy, dude. That's right. Put on the metaverse glasses. All right. Step in there and, have fun. Enjoy the fantasy, Sam the Man. Enjoy the fantasy. Ty in the Bronx, thank you for the love on the 5 years and the super chat. Appreciate you, sir. Jeff says, for some strange reason I was blocked. It said I wasn't a subscriber, but now it works. Strange. I'm going to blame David Furones. Since he helped the Panthers lose last night, I'll blame David Furones. I know it wasn't us, bro. So, I mean, dude, you're like a pillar of the show. You've been with us every day. So definitely not us. Yater Castro, Rosendo, Pat in Asheville. Oh, you got... Wait a minute. Hold on. You sharing U2 dates? We got dates? We got dates? Oh, I see. He's trying to get insider information. That's Pat. You walk into a building with Pat in Asheville, and, dude, he's working every angle, and he's just connecting with bouncers, with roadies, and he's working it. So I can see he's a network guy. John DiTondo, thank you for the love on the super chat. Nothing against Jason Taylor. Of course, we love Jason Taylor. But the Panthers don't have a good record with Dolphins pound the drum. They should have Joy Taylor pound the drum. I see what you did there. I see. Woo! Love it. What's up with Antonio Brown? He loco. Okay? I'm loco ese. Ray Grullon, wow, Miracle Theater and Coral Gables, those were the days. And the junior Walla. Girls were girls and men were men. Let's see. We had a pool in Florida. I wouldn't go to the pool by myself after seeing the advertisement for Jaws. I didn't have a pool in my house. I just used everybody else's pools in different neighborhoods. Did you ever go pool hopping as a kid? You can't do that now. You'll get shot. Back in the day, you'd be bike riding around the neighborhood. You ever did that? You ever did pool hopping? No? Okay, well, in our neighborhood, well, it wasn't really in our neighborhood, but we just bike rode through different neighborhoods. And so you kind of had, like, secretly, you had a future as a thief to scout out banks and stuff, right? Because you were scouting out houses. And you go, wow, these people aren't home during the day all the time. And they's got some pools. All right, cool. Less fences back in the 70s. So maybe very early 80s, I would say. Probably very like 80, 81. And so you would scout around and you say, okay, all right, this is it. You and like 2 or 3 buddies, whatever, pull up, hide the bike somewhere, jump the fence or bush, whatever it is that you had to do, get in there, get in the pool, bomb, whatever. Sometimes there was a case or two where they would, the owner would show up, and what are you kids doing? And you just get up and run. Pool hopping in the 70s. It was hot. You wanted to cool down a little bit. You didn't have enough money to go to Venetian pool. You don't live down here. You have no idea what I'm talking about with Venetian pool.
We did Snyder Park back in the day. Down by the airport in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
There's like a lagoon and some lakes and things like that. You could just slide in the back gate and not pay at the front.
Okay. All right. I like that. What else do we have? Dolphin Dave, Big O, the cops are looking for wide receiver Antonio Brown. Yep. Did you ever attend the drive-through theater where Best Buy? Yes, of course. The Tropicare movie theater, and the Tropicare was on 27th Avenue. The one on Bird Road, what was it called? Yeah, but I definitely went for sure, dude. Yes. I definitely went to the one in Bird Road. I forgot the damn name of it now, but yes, of course. I would go with my mom and dad in those days. I was in the back seat of a Ford Falcon. How about that? So yeah, I remember. And then of course the classic move is you're in the back, huh? Night Owl Drive-In. It does not sound right. Tropicare. I said that one, right? I said Tropicare. Was Tropicare the one on Bird Road? I thought that was the one on 27th Avenue. I thought that was on 27th. Oh, no. Tropicare was the one on Bird Road. Okay, so then I got to figure out the one that was on 27th Avenue. So I went to those two. I remember that for sure. With the old man and the old lady. And I always remember because the classic thing, and it became a thing. If there was like a nude scene coming up, they'd grab your head and shove it under the back seat. You know, like my dad would like pin you down and you're like, bro, there's boobies. I want to see boobies, you know? And so, yeah, it's like the 27th Avenue Drive-In Theater. That's all it was. Okay. Yeah, it was 27th Avenue. I want to say like maybe I was going to say 97th, bro. 87th. Yeah, I was going to say 97th. Yeah. I remember it. I remember it as a kid. They had the one on Bird Road was awesome because they had a playground in the front. So the kids that didn't want to watch the movie that was boring to them or whatever, the kids would all go to the playground in the front, and they had swings and slides, and so you could talk with other kids and all that. And so it was a different time too, because in today's world, there's no way in a dark drive-in theater you're going to allow your kid who's like 7 or 8 or 10 or to walk over there. Not in today's world, but back then it was a different world, dude. Different world. Your kid was a lot safer. You know, it was simple, but it was a little bit, you know, sure, there were bad people. There's always bad people, but not like today. Not like today that you have to, you know, watch like a hawk. I don't think it's countless the amount of times in a drive-in theater that I walked over to the play yard and then walk right back. And my mom and dad is on there in the. Obviously, it's their time. They got private time. Kid's gone. I'm sure they went at it while I was gone. You know, I'm married, bro. I know how it goes nowadays. You know, my daughter's now growing up, but you know, when they're growing up, you know, you got windows. You know, quarterbacks drop back and they got windows to throw through. You know. And when you are married and you have children, you know, your sex life is on Windows. So, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, you want to go play in the, oh, yeah, go over to the play yard. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Have fun. Nowadays, you can't even have fun. I mean, if you're a responsible parent. Because you got to go with the kid, and that's it. So there's no fun time for you. Life has ruined fun time for everybody. Anyway. John, thank you for the love, sir. That's very kind of you. Very nice. Horn Dog, thank you for the anniversary. I'd like to tell my wife, Judy, happy anniversary. Wow. Tomorrow makes it 8 great years. Awesome, dude. God bless, bro. That's awesome. 8 years, man. Congratulations. Brian stating the obvious. Yes. Let's see. Ty in the Bronx, all in the family classic Big O. Yes, sir. We used to crash the local Holiday Inn on hot summer days, which had a pool and acted like we were staying there. Definitely. Definitely. There was this little motel on 8th Street, right by Ponce de Leon, about 2 blocks before it. There is a restaurant now called La Casita, and there's a mall that's next to it. That mall did not exist back in the 70s. That was a small little apartment motel, little motel, and it had a pool. It had like rooms all the way around. It was like a triangle, like a long triangle, and in the middle was a pool. And then they had the office building that's still there to this day. And then on the other side was something else. I forgot what it was. Some kind of medical office or something. Trying to remember. It's the 70s. And so that place, we used to raid that pool all the time. Because the manager wouldn't be there all the time. So we'd like park our bikes, and then we get there, and I don't know how many times that guy chased us out of there. It was great. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Wow, Ford Falcon rivals a Ford Fairlane and a Ford Galaxy 500 XL. Yes, sir. The Thunderbird Drive. I think you might be right. I think it is the Thunderbird on 27th Avenue, George. Huh? Yeah, I think that was it. I think it was Thunderbird, my brother. I think you might have nailed it, George. Yeah. Big O, in case you go to Chick-fil-A, there's one on Pines and 100. That's the one I just went to right now. That's it. And if you want to know, they're constructing a Raising Cane's chicken on the corner of Miramar Parkway and Southwest 172nd Avenue. That's awesome. I like them. Yeah, the Adam Walsh case changed that. Yes, it did, Clee. Yes, it did. That was the watershed moment. Yes. Kudos to you, sir. You are correct. Up until I was 6 years old, I grew up in Margate near Pompano Beach. We had the Margate Drive-In back then. Some of my favorite early memories were watching Grease and Superman there. Yeah. Mike Martin says, thank you for all you do. Lifelong Dolphins fan in Iowa. Hang in there, Mike, man. They'll figure it out one day, bro. It ain't going to be this year because, it is what it is, dude. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I heard Joe Rose, play. We still got to get Jonnu under contract. And I'm driving to the show. I'm going, is he naive or is he just playing the game to like feed bullshit to the fans so he has some topic to talk about or something? Because like Jonnu's gone. Like, you haven't figured that out? And you're still talking about a contract? Like, I was like, wow, Joe. Really? Like, and that's what I will not do to you guys. I cannot in my right mind, knowing what I know and what I've seen. And then I'm going to say, oh, no, yeah, no, yeah. Everything's all right, dude. Of course not. Nothing's going to happen. Come on. Richard Krasko, thank you for the love on Cash App, sir. Appreciate you. Congratulations. congratulating us on the anniversary. Thank you. Today is 5 years for those of you tuning in that we are on the platform by ourselves, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Let's see what else do we have. Big O, last night I was thinking when the Panthers win the cup, how many sports cities have 3 teams with back-to-back championships, and found only Boston is that city. Panthers need to make history. It'll happen, dude. I didn't get too high on the game 3 win, and I'm not going into depression because of the game 4 loss. They let up and they it got bit. Their butts. That's it. They're a great team. They'll wake up. They'll figure it out. And this is a lesson learned. You're playing a great team. Don't give them one little inch, bro. Don't let them breathe. When you're choking them, choke them out. When you're going for the kill, go for the jugular. And they just didn't last night. And they let up, and that's it. And then those guys, to their credit, they showed character. And so now they made it hard on themselves. But I wouldn't. Let me tell you something. I would not be shocked if the Panthers win the next 2 games. Not at all. Maybe this really pisses them off and keeps them focused for the next 6 periods, and they put these guys out. But I'm not going to panic because of this. It's ridiculous. Okay, I know what happened. It's not like that team is better. It's not like they're intimidated or whatever. No, dude, they let up, and then that team will beat you if you let them up. And that's exactly what happened. And they paid the price. They got what they deserved last night. That's all. There's nowhere to point the fingers except at the Panthers for that second period. And Jason Taylor and the Dolphins, of course, and David Furones. Got to blame them too. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Oilers, by the way, defeat the Panthers 5-4 in overtime. So the series is tied at 2-2. Panthers lose a 3-0 lead. Game 5 will be Saturday, tomorrow, 8 o'clock on TNT. Tonight, 8:30, Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Thunder at the Pacers. Thunder favored by 6. The over and under is 226. Thunder minus 218 on the money line. The Pacers are plus 180. Saturday, 7:30, USL Super League Championship Final. Your Fort Lauderdale United visiting the Tampa Bay Sun FC for the championship. A local team is going for the championship. So it's on Peacock. Watch it, support it, celebrate it, embrace it. Hell of an accomplishment. And then at 8 o'clock, we'll see if Inter Miami can advance in the first round of the FIFA World Cup. Al Ahly, I think it's pronounced that way. I'm not exactly sure. Apologies if I don't get it right. Taking on Inter Miami. Inter Miami plus 110 on the money line. And Al Ahly is plus 210 on the money line. You can watch it on DAZN. And it is at Hard Rock Stadium. That's your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Where's Bitcoin at? I know it was flirting with 105 again. It was a beautiful little dip. I love it. And now, the whole thing with war, at first people get shocked, and you saw how it took a dip, and that happened last time. And then it comes right back. And then if the war drags on, guess how they move money? Through Bitcoin. Because it's harder to move through banks. At that time, it's harder to access money. But wallets can be used from one end of the world to the other in a second. Remember when the truckers had that strike in Canada and they froze all your money in your bank accounts? Remember that? And they shut everything down. How did they overcome? Bitcoin. And then Canada wanted to try to stop that, and they couldn't. People kept sending them Bitcoin, and they kept having money. Yeah, I always love the people that say, well, but wait a minute, is it money? Of course it is, idiot. It converts right away to money. It's up to you to convert it if you want, you know? People that just don't understand it. Anyway, we're at 105 right now. I know the market was hurting earlier, and it's worse actually now. It's the Dow is down 562 points, the S&P is down 46, and the Nasdaq is down 0.75 of a point. So not good, but that'll bounce back. Remember Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Solana donations too on Venmo. So appreciate it as always. Peter German, thank you on Venmo. He says, wishing you the best, Big O. Appreciate you. As for Dolphins, I think the biggest obstacle to success is the owner. He has allowed 6 years of complete incompetence. Look, nothing's worked. So everybody's to blame, and I get it, man. But for me, the real, I just don't know. Dude, you're the billionaire. You made the mistake. Why didn't you just get rid of McDaniel? Why do we have to go through this dog and pony show? I get it. You got to make it look good. So if he fails, then you can justify it and fire him. But whether you fired him in the offseason or fire him now and 3 months from now, 5 months from now, it's still not going to look good because you just gave him the contract, you know? But I hate that we have to live through this, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? I really hate it. It's not fair to any of you out there. But God, man, just it's sad. It's sad that we've got to go through this. It really is. It's a screwed up situation. You know, and that's why this season for me is a wash. I'm not expecting anything. If they make anything out of it, fantastic. And if they don't, it's kind of what I expected. It sucks. It really does. Big O, for you, game 6, you bang the drum. If they want good karma and they want a little juice, they call me and I go and I bang the drum and they win. You know, Viola and Sifu can give me a ring. I'm here for it. Just don't bring another Dolphin in the building again. Like I said yesterday on the post-game show, Dolphin players are for like a game in late October, early November. Right? You're playing some scrub team that's in town. Right. The Utah Mammoth comes to town and you say, okay, let's bring out a Dolphin. It's harmless. And that's it. But we've now realized that it's like the Madden cover when you bring them. It's not good. It's just not good. You know, so we've got to be better than putting Dolphins there in the damn building.
And I'm going to second what you said yesterday. Whoever made that suggestion should be
fired.
Marched out of the building,
fired
out of the Amerant Bank area, and just put on the Sawgrass Expressway with their bags.
Who in the Panther organization said, hey, let's bring Jason Taylor? Who said that, bro? And by the way, what is the official bad record of the Dolphins banging the drum at the Panther game?
There's a whole bunch of, I mean, I have to go back through and see. One person said they were 0-6. Then
No, it's not.
Then I saw 2-6, which is now 2-7.
I think that's the accurate one.
Then, you know, so again, at some point, as a Florida Panthers organization. As good as you're doing, acquiring talent, let Bill Zito start making this decision.
I like that. Bill Zito picks all the right players. Bill Zito should pick who bangs the goddamn drum. Sorry. Okay. Want to make sure there's nobody around. I don't care about my audience. You know our show. So yeah, that's a great idea, bro. Bill Zito is the only one that can pick who bangs on the damn drum. Okay? That's the way it should be. I like that. That is, wow, that's genius. That's pure, unadulterated genius. It's a little New Jack City for you, if you catch it. Yes, sir.
No, I was Brett Jarvis said maybe we should let Tyreek to bang the drum. He will bang just about anything.
Yep, exactly. But a little protection, because then you can't touch it again.
Yeah.
You don't know where that thing has been.
The mallet.
You know what I'm saying?
Got to throw the mallet away after that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe with as many women as he gets pregnant, maybe Tyreek doesn't need the mallet. Anyway, let's get to a little music, by the way, before we get to Feronis here. There's a Feronis Amonis. We'll see. We'll talk to the man that was in charge of the Panthers losing last night. So we get to talk Dolphins football with him, wrapping up the mini camp, and we get to talk Panthers hockey because he was there last night, leading the loss. Is that phrased the right way? Feronis was there leading the loss. I think it makes sense, right? I mean, I'm only being honest. All right, let's get to musicians. Let's get this one out of the way. And I got a bunch of Dolphin topics that I want to get to, too, besides that. Rivers Cuomo from Weezer, celebrating a birthday, born in 1970 today. David Gray, UK singer, born in 68. Happy birthday to him. Let's see. Howard Lees, formerly of Heart, born in 51. Who else? All right, let's go with famous people besides musicians. Celebrate. Remember, as always, if I don't mention the birthday, the age, that means they have passed away. Okay. All right, here we go. Musician Carlos Chavez, born in 1899. Tennis Hall of Famer Don Budge, born in 1915. Who else? Malcolm McDowell, actor, born in 43. He is 82 today. Let's see. Comedian actor Tim Allen, born in 53. He is 72. Actor Ali Sheedy, born in 62. She's 63. Steve-O, stapling his nuts to his legs. He's born in 74. He's 51 today. Actor, fashion designer Ashley Olsen and Kate Olsen, both born in 86, and they are 39 years old only. It's like they've been around for 40 years. Oh, they have been around for 40 years. That's right. I forgot. Kat Dennings. They were born in 1986. She is 39. She of the glorious lips. She has two amazing features, I have to say. Those are birthdays for you. Now we go with music history. What happened today on June 3rd? Today's Friday the 13th. I didn't realize that. Okay. Did not realize that. All right. Let's see if we can get to a little music historia here on the show. What happened today in music history? We started in 1964. The Rolling Stones made their first American primetime TV appearance on the Hollywood Palace. Dean Martin hosted it, joked with them about their long hair. In 75, John Lennon made his last ever TV appearance when he sang Slip, Slide, and Away, and Imagine, and a salute to Sir Lud Grade. In 1998, part of the Tibetan Freedom Concert, it was scrapped after lightning struck as the venue in Washington, D.C.'s RFK Stadium. However, a free impromptu concert was held at a club for lucky ticket holders who got to see Radiohead and REM's Michael Stipe perform. In 75, Peter Frampton played the first of two nights at the Winterland Ballroom in San Francisco. The recordings for the show were used as part of his hit double album, Frampton Comes Alive. And I bought that album in Passaic, New Jersey, in a record store on a street called, I think it was Broadway, or off of Broadway. One and two. Anyway, let's see what else. In 2003, the Arctic Monkeys made their live debut at the Grapes Pub in Sheffield, England. They made $45 from ticket sales. That's when they knew they made it, bro. That's what happened today in Musica history. All right. All right. Oh, wow. All right. By the way, the Dolphins are entering the season where there's a lot of fans that are wondering what's going on. And also what's very typical is, well, hey, the Dolphins can do well if Tua decides to stay healthy, if the line can block, if Tyreek doesn't get in trouble, if Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb can stay healthy, if rookies that you drafted, actually, some of them need to come through in order for you to be successful. Sabanaya has to be a player, right? Or if not, your quarterback gets killed. And your run game may not be as effective. Grant has to play well next to Sealer. He doesn't have anybody else. So you're putting rookies in places that they need to perform and help you. There's a lot of ifs. There's no bigger if than James Daniels. While he's a good player, he's still coming back from an Achilles injury. And there's no guarantee that he can be himself even in the first year. It might take him 2 years. It might be the second year where he's himself. We don't know. But what we do know is that you just added another if to the whole equation, which, as a Dolphins fan, don't you get tired that every season is about ifs? Because there's nothing ever that's certain. Next year, I can guarantee you, whatever happens in the NHL Finals, the Panthers will still be a contender next year for the Stanley Cup. The Panthers will still be one of the best teams in the NHL next year. The Panthers are at a point where they're highly respected now. where you trust Bill Zito to make the decisions on even who bangs the drum. That's the difference. That feeling, we've never had that for the Dolphins since the 70s, dude. And it's sad because it's not James Daniels' fault, but a lot is riding on that guy, dude. He must perform because you'll never establish the running game that you desperately need to run any offense in the NFL to help any quarterback in the NFL, and especially your quarterback. Just like on the other side, you're asking a rookie to be effective right away. Like, there's no room for screw up for either guy. And for McDaniel, he's coming back from an injury, and a difficult injury to come back from, too. It might take him a little while to find himself. Do the Dolphins have a little while? Well, actually, they don't. So I find it, in a year where, God, everything is stacked against you, this is just something else that makes it another difficult hurdle that you have to overcome. And it's not James Daniels' fault, but it is the situation that you're in. Just weird, man. A weird dynamic, and I hate that we're always in this dynamic. Always with the Dolphins. We're always in this stinking dynamic. Jay, Tyron Mears should have banged the drum last night. He's in the championship game. That's more than what the Dolphins have accomplished in decades. Okay? So they won a playoff game last week. Dolphins can't even do that. Costa says, I go on about my workday, listening to the Big O and read the chat when possible. Well, thank you, Lenny Pena. Happy 5th anniversary to you. And Sean, the day I found out you went digital, I was excited to keep listening to the best in town. Thank you, sir. And same here. Very excited. I don't think my boss ever saw somebody that he was letting go and was looking at him with a smile. So that's what I was doing. I was looking at him with a smile because I knew that I was free and I was going to be able to do whatever I wanted to do. And to me, that was everything. So I've been liberated for 5 years. You know what it is when somebody's about to fire you and you say, and you look at them with a smile and say, thank you so much. Because I knew this was the future. And there was no reason for me to stay in that place where I'm not going to be happy. Where here I am super happy. I have all the freedom that I could possibly ask for. I got great sponsors. We get great listeners that join us and have been with us and support us and buy shirts or make donations, hit the like button, all that kind of stuff. By the way, we only got 47 likes. There's 75 watching right now. Come on, man. A bunch of you have not hit the like button. Get the damn algorithms going, man. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, your 2025 Dolphin, your 2025 Dolphins, LOL fins. Yeah. They were going to let Zonk bang the drum, but feared he'd break it. Well, but at least, see, if you're going to use a Dolphin, that's the only one you can use from the 70s. He's the only one that's probably healthy enough to do it. That's about it. I don't think there's anybody else in the 70s that's in shape enough to do it. And I don't even know if, Zonk, that takes a lot to bang that damn drum. So that would be hard, but it would only be Zonk right now from that team. But at least, okay, you're getting it from that era. Take that chance. But you know what's best? Let's stay away from a Dolphin. That's all. Let's just stay away from Dolphins. It's a team that's just full of stank. It's who they are, So, what else do we have that I wanted to talk about on the show today? That we talked about, a lot of people out there, and we've kind of like been telling you about it for a while now, and I still trip out, and I hear it, and I see it, and people write about it, and all that, and they're like, well, what is the Dolphins' plan? And so sometimes, folks, I want you to know that when it comes to plans, I'm just wondering, did Bibi tell the Iranians that he was going to attack them yesterday? Netanyahu just like said, hey, Iran, hey, we're coming. They knew? Oh, yeah, right, of course, right? Because that's normal. It's normal. So, sometimes there are plans, but they don't tell you about the plans. The Dolphins had a plan several years ago. Now, they thought everybody was on the same plan. They didn't realize that Flo was a little slow and didn't understand the plan. Now, a lot of people picked up on the plan and said, oh, they got to be tanking. But Flo was like, no, I'm not tanking. And so there was no tanking. But there was a plan. The problem is you can't necessarily go out and just say, hey, we're trying to lose games. So you kind of do the moves. And so they don't tell you the plan. But there is a plan. And so people go, well, the Dolphins look like they have no direction. Oh, they have all the direction in the world. And we've explained it. It's pretty simple. And here's the plan, folks. Here's the Dolphins' plan that they're not telling you, but it's in place. They have given up on Mike McDaniel. They're not investing in players for the future. They went and drafted a guard because that guard will fit any scheme. They went and signed a guard because that guard will fit any scheme. They went and got big backs late in the draft because they needed it to complement the light backs that they have now, because they need to add that. That's it. Outside of that, it's pretty much the same team. Your best pass catcher, Jonnu Smith, your most consistent pass catcher, not best. Let's call him the most consistent pass catcher you have. Well, they don't know if he fits another coordinator, so they're not going to give him a long-term deal, and he's moving on. Mike McDaniel, this is his worst team. They gave him a contract extension last year. It was a mistake. They now realize it after this offseason, where they saw all the defections and the malaise that is currently in the building. And it's a lesson now because players have left because they don't believe in this guy. And neither does the owner and the front office anymore. And that's why the GM and the front office had an offseason like they were super comfortable. And if maybe they didn't tell Mike McDaniel this, but if he's not smart enough to figure out what's gone on, I can't help him. But they realized they made a mistake with the extension, and now they're going to let him sink or swim on this year, and they're going to lock up Mr. Weaver, because they know if they wait to the end of the season, he's gone. and he's going to go somewhere else because he sees what's in the building. So make him the interim now and lock him up. And that's what we're going to. We're just going through a dog and pony show, and that is the plan. Because if the plan was that you were gung-ho about Mike McDaniel, you would have done more to actually help him save the season. And you didn't. You did the bare minimum. And in fact, you're actually stripping the cupboard bare, because you won't have anything at tight end once you trade him, because maybe Julian Hill turns into something, but right now to count on that is insanity. He's there. There's a plan in place. It's just they're not going to tell you what the plan is, but it's pretty obvious. All right, let's do it. Let's get to it. Welton Rheaume, great sponsors of ours, 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Let's get to it. Let's talk to the man that brought the funk last night to the Florida Panthers, David Furones, in our Welton Rheaume, Miami Dolphins, and Florida Panthers Funk Report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rheaume Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rheaume has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is David Furones. How you feel taking down the Panthers last night?
Oh man, I hate that I ended up doing that to them. I mean, I'm hearing a stat that whenever it's a Dolphins player that bangs the drum, it's bad mojo on them, that they end up losing these games. So it was Jason Taylor last night that banged the drum, and they ended up losing. And after it looked like it was going so well, the 3-0 lead after one, you think they're cruising after a 6-1 win the game before. And you think they're going to put themselves one win away, and now it's 2-2 going back to Edmonton, which is where I'm going. I had an early morning flight to Minneapolis, got a long layover here, and now hopping on.
We're gonna he's going to Edmonton.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry.
And can you wear an Oilers jersey? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Of course.
Edmonton isn't flying any Dolphins players up to do anything, are they? To make sure here.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt it.
Scary, bro.
The Dolphins just finished mandatory minicamp. I don't think they're going to Edmonton in Alberta, Canada.
Wait a minute. You know it would be hilarious if Edmonton flew up Jalen Ramsey. And Jonnu Smith.
Maybe that would reverse it. Two guys who are on the trade block for the Dolphins.
That would spill the oil. That's for sure.
For the Oilers?
That's for sure. Okay? That's for sure. Oh, man. God bless. Wow. All right. All right. So talk to us about minicamp wraps. Are you buying all this culture bullshit? To me, that's all. Dude, the Panthers didn't talk about that. They had to do it and show it, and it took them a couple of years to become what they've become. It didn't happen by talk and all that kind of stuff. I do give Bradley some credit, because at the end of all that stuff that you guys asked him, he goes, "Hey, man, in the end, we'll see if it all works, for us." So I give him credit for all that, because to me, this is just blah 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 in the off season, dude. It really sounds like.
Yeah, well, that's all the Dolphins can do in front of us, and what we hear is tell us. And the thing is, in the past, yes, they were telling us, and then Bradley Chubb even admitted, well, in the past, if we were saying that we had the right culture, well, that we were lying, because back then we weren't acting on it. according to him, now the guys in the building, when we can't see things, when it's the players that have to, it's them being accountable to be there on time. He's saying their actions now are matching up with those words. So you hope it's true now. Even if it is true, there's only so much culture you can change in an off season, in OTAs and minicamp, when you're maybe several months removed from the pain of last year, and you still have so much to go before it really starts to mean something on the football field. So the true test of culture is when things get tough during the season and shit starts to go wrong. You lose a heartbreaker. There's infighting in the locker room. Then have you established that culture to a level where it can surpass any object moving against it, any challenge to that culture? So there's always going to be those challenges. Like you see it with the Heat, and if it was like when Jimmy Butler was there, the infighting. If it was Jimmy and Spo and Donis Haslam getting into it with him, obviously even the Panthers, they face adversity, but you trust in them to overcome whatever's in front of them. So obviously the Dolphins won't be nowhere near that level, but you have to try because it was a problem. So you have to identify the problem to begin with, and then that's where it begins. The only problem is it's only beginning. It takes
It's funny
a while.
because the stuff you talk about with the Heat at times now, and definitely with the Dolphins, it's all internal. Whereas with the Panthers, none of it is ever internal. It's more external. The challenges of the game, the sport, playing a legitimate great team on the other side. That's really what's going on. Last night, all kidding aside, Jason Taylor and you and all that bullshit, it was really second period. You let off the gas and you thought you had them. And then when you saw that they responded because they're a great team and to their credit, and you wanted to then turn it up again, it became hard at that moment because they already had the momentum at that time and they had the edge. And you know what? Yeah, you're a great team, but you're not playing a shitty team. You're playing a great team, and you gave them life. And by giving them life, you got in trouble yesterday. To me, that's really what happened yesterday. All kidding aside, and we can have fun with Dolphin, all that. But really, that's what happened yesterday. You let up, and you paid the price, dude. That's it.
Yeah, I took that as a microcosm of like how last year's series went, where it was 3-0 in terms of games. The Panthers had a 3-0 lead, and then the Oilers pulled off 3 straight. Now, in last year's series, the Panthers had the final say with the Game 7 victory in this game, where it went 3-0, and then they came all the way back to tie. They went ahead. Panthers, miraculous goal by Sam Reinhart at the angle that he had, and to force overtime with the 20 seconds left. But then you almost had the Sam Bennett one in overtime that would have ended it.
And Lundell.
Lundell
Also, dude. That's why. This is why in Game 3 I told people, dude, don't get too high about this. Game 3 don't mean shit if you don't win Game 4. And there you go, you didn't win it. And now that you lost, it does, to me, no big deal, bro. You lost. It's you let up and you paid the price, but you easily could have won this game. With many opportunities you had. Now you made it a 3-game set and you made it harder for yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers win games 5 and 6, dude, and we're done. And that's it. But unfortunately, bro, you can't screw around with a great team. And they paid the price yesterday. That's it, dude.
It's remarkable to me how in hockey, which I haven't followed that much throughout my life, but this recent Panthers run, I've been honed in on it. I mean, obviously covering it some, and I'm on these games coming up. How momentum really doesn't travel, doesn't go from one game to another. It could keep going that way, or it could just reverse course so quickly. And actually, the Oilers with Coach Chris Knobloch pulling Stuart Skinner in favor of the backup, that seemed to spark them. I don't know what effect that could have on the skaters, but they stopped giving up goals, and then they started scoring them in the second period. So that was a great timing for that move, and now that's the next challenge that the Panthers will face.
Yep. Your thoughts on the fact of the challenges that the Dolphins face to be a good team this year? Is it too many?
Well, I'm going to point to a question that I asked, which I was curious about because I heard what Booger McFarland said on ESPN NFL Live about Mike McDaniel needing to be more innovative after last year, and how he kind of was figured out in a way by opposing defenses, and now it's on him to adjust to those adjustments, counter adjust, and I actually love that he echoed something that you continue to say, is that the running game will be immensely important in exactly that. So, that's one of the challenges that you asked about. Challenges that I'm looking at is how they adjust to how defenses played Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on the outside last year, which that's the biggest thing is when those guys are going, then this offense clicks. Obviously, you need Tua to be available as well, but in order to have defenses let up in the back end, get them out of the too high shells and the extra coverage and attention that they face, is run the football. And maybe you force a safety to come into the box, and then it's bombs away on to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Dude, like the other day, I love him, bro, but I'm going to call out anybody. I don't give a shit who it is, you or Poop here. And I'm driving and I'm hearing Poop on with Omar on QAM. And he goes, well, no, because Tua needs a perfect team. And I almost drove off the road like, Poop, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, well, okay, when it's an even level playing field, which it has not happened for Tua at all, right? They were in Alabama. When it was even between him and Jalen Hurts, who was the better quarterback? Tua by miles.
He overtook Jalen Hurts.
He had a line, he had a running game, he had what he needed to succeed. If you give to the Eagles with Saquon Barkley and that defense, he'll win.
Oh my God!
If you give Tua what Tannehill had for 4 years in Tennessee, he wins. If you give Tua what Minnesota has had for the last 2 years, he wins. The problem is here in Miami, we have a lot of people that don't understand the quarterback position. And the quarterback cannot carry everything. And if you don't provide blocking and you don't provide a real running game, you make it really near impossible for a quarterback to carry you. And a quarterback like Tua, that is like a Brady or a Breeze or a Marino or a Manning. And what I mean by that is they're stinking statues. These are not athletes. They're not going to win any games with their legs. So since they're not winning games with their legs, they win with their minds and their arms and their accuracy and their anticipatory skills. And they're all super successful doing it, but they're doing it because the people around them actually block the damn people in front of them, and they actually run the ball. In all those cases, they run the ball. And the only case for Tua is that they don't block well and they don't run the ball. And I keep repeating that every goddamn year, and people don't understand it. Until now, apparently, some guy named Booger ends up actually lighting the fire because, of course, I'm not on ESPN. So it's, I'm little old me, and I'm here, and I'm quietly just doing my thing. Spewing common sense constantly, but I'm doing my thing.
You're never doing it quietly.
Well, whatever, bro. But it's just, let's use common sense here. Okay, the kid doesn't have what you need to succeed. That's just the bottom line. And he has a terrible coach. He doesn't have on the sidelines Kevin O'Connell. And he doesn't have on the sidelines John Harbaugh. And he doesn't have McDermott, and he doesn't have the Bills offensive line and the Bills defense. And then if you put Tua on the Bills, he dominates the division also because they have the better team. And so they have actual team. And so it's interesting. They don't have that here, but you want to blame him for everything. And that's where I look at you and I say, bro, you're dumb. You don't understand the quarterback position. And that's my problem with all of this. A lot of people don't understand football. They don't understand the quarterback. And they're so blinded by the story they have to cover or write or whatever. And they got to make it juicy because the quarterback's the one that's going to get the clicks. But in the end, dude, Bob Greasy won a Super Bowl throwing the ball 6 times, dude. 6
Trent Dilfer won a
times.
Super Bowl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl and he couldn't throw the ball 10 yards.
Yeah, his worst season as a passer.
Right, but he had a team.
Yeah.
So he can do his job at least. The worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl is Peyton Manning. But my point is, give him a team. Give him a team. Give him something that he can work with, please.
Oh, you make an excellent point, and I was almost going to counter with, when you said no quarterback is going to win entirely on his own, which, no one has proven that they can. But I was almost going to counter like Josh Allen, the way he makes plays, Patrick Mahomes can. But then I stopped myself because, Josh Allen, he still needs the run game. You remember when the Bills were 6-6 to start 2023, and then what changed when they moved on from Ken Dorsey and they had Joe Brady become OCs, that they started running the ball with James Cook. So then they had that to complement Josh Allen and facilitate things for him. Patrick Mahomes, when he's been successful, actually when he has had his downfalls, twice losing in the Super Bowl, because he's got no blocking from him, no pass protection, and the pass rushers just demolished him in those Super Bowls that he lost.
Put it this way, and I'll piss off a lot of people. Take Lamar out of the Ravens. Put Tua in the Ravens with Derrick Henry in the backfield, and they win a Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl, and they go farther than Lamar. Why? Lamar pees in his pants because he can't pass. He's not a great passer. That's the problem. Yeah, the stats tell you one thing, but when you look at the reality, he's not a great passer. He has a limited passing tree, and once in a while he's an athlete and he'll throw some amazing things, but he can't consistently do it, and the teams know that. So they shut the run down, and then they force him to beat you with the arm, and he can't do it. You put Tua on that team, and he goes farther than Lamar. But the problem is that Tua doesn't have Lamar's running game, he doesn't have Lamar's defense, and he doesn't have John Harbaugh on the sidelines. So, he's at a huge disadvantage. When you gave him Saban and a real team, he won a national championship. I mean, he can do it, but you've got to do your part. And that's the problem here in Miami. We had Marino here, and they never did their part. They never built a running game, and they never built a defense. And why? And you never ended up winning. You got lucky one time you got there, and you got your asses kicked because you didn't belong there. You just got lucky because the conference was down, and it didn't take that much to get there, and then, whatever. But in the end, you weren't good enough because the Niners were 1,000 times better. Why? They could run the ball. They had a defense. Marino didn't, So it's the same old problem. It's just a different quarterback and all that, but it's really the same problem. You don't know how to build around your quarterback. That's it.
Yeah. When you do the hypotheticals of Tua on a different team, I just think how you would have to really change that team so much. There would be. I think they would find success if let's say if you drop Tua on the Ravens, if you drop Tua on the Eagles, but then some of the things that make them successful with their quarterbacks, you obviously wouldn't be able to do. Jalen Hurts and the tush push, you're obviously not doing that with Tua. So there would be some transformation of how you run those teams. Obviously, Tua and Lamar Jackson completely different.
My brother, I just gave you the example. It's called Alabama.
Yeah.
They didn't change shit. They didn't need. You don't need a running quarterback, bro. All the guys, the pocket passers, are the ones that own all the titles. This is the first year a running quarterback won the title. The first year. And was it really the quarterback that won the title? Not really. Okay, so, I mean, come on, dude. It's the pocket passers. Alabama didn't have to change anything. Why? You gain more with the passer than you do with a runner. The runner limits you because it becomes more obvious. The passer ruins it for you because if you can run the ball, You still have to defend the run, but if you can pass the ball and run, oh, that is really scary. But if you have limitations like a Jalen Hurts, like a Lamar, and you take the run game away from those guys, they that's their kryptonite. That's the difference. Whereas a pocket passer does not rely on their legs. They only rely on their legs to buy half a second, a fifth of a second, just to slide or roll or something, just to get a little extra time. That's the only time they use their legs, is just to kind of maneuver and manipulate the pocket. That's it, dude. So that Alabama's your perfect example. Saban at halftime said, "Yeah, dude, yeah, you're great at running, but right now I need a passer." And the passer's the one that won the game.
Yeah. And when you can use your running abilities as a quarterback only to complement the passing, like maybe the way and create by extending plays because of your escapability, and not have it be something that you're dependent on.
Mahomes.
Yeah, right. Mahomes does that. Josh Allen does that. Now Josh Allen will also run, more like right.
Josh Allen
But
and Lamar Jackson need to run to be who they are, whereas Mahomes only runs when it's necessity. It's last case scenario. It's not designed. It's not. They don't need the run yards in his game. If Lamar and Josh don't have run yards, they probably will not have good games, and there's a good chance their team won't win that day. We agree on that?
Yeah, that's fair.
And so then that's a limitation to me, because you can stop the run, and that's what happens with Lamar every year. That's what happens with Josh Allen every year. They stop the run, and when you stop the run, they're not the passers that Mahomes is. And so then that's where that guy then beats you every single time, unless you have the Eagles, offense and defensive lines, which are just absolutely freaking dominant,
Yeah. It's got to be pass first, even if you have that in your arsenal. And even as I think back in covering the Dolphins last year, when Tua was trying to add that into his game, he said it's only when it's out of necessity, and only to help extend plays for the passing game first, and then last resort would be to use the legs for rushing yards on the ground. So it's pass first. It's got to be pass first, and have the run game with it. Have the tailback that could let those guys that specialize in run the football. When you have a Saquon Barkley like Jalen Hurts does.
A lot of times in these mini camps, and now we wait till training camp, they are going through mental reps, and we'll close it with this. Do you see the presence of them using Madison and the Ollie kid more in reps than you normally would see those backups? Like they're trying to instill a more power running game. Did you see that at all while you're watching the reps?
I would say, from the limited reps that we could see, I think yes. I like the mini camp and OTA the whole offseason, the 4 practices we were able to watch from Ollie Gordon. So I think he's got a decent shot to do some things for however much you can as a 6th-round pick as a rookie. And I wasn't seeing too much of Alexander Madison earlier in the OTAs, but then I forget which minicamp session it was. It might have been the first one of the 2, because they cut the third one into a walkthrough, so there were just 2.
Yeah.
But one of those, we started to see some things from Madison where he was running with some vision. Obviously, no pads on, so it's not like you can get a sense of how physical he was being. But we know he has that. He can be a short yardage option. And even catching the ball a little bit out of the backfield too. So I think, I go back to McDaniel's answer yesterday when asked about adjustments and the importance of running the football. I think this team has the idea to be more physical. You see it with the addition of those 2 running backs. You see it with the emphasis at the guard position on the offensive line. The highest priced free agent was James Daniels, one guard. They moved up in the second round for another one, and Jonas Avainaya. And obviously, you have a really good fullback in Alec Ingold who can do some things, and you can maybe utilize his capabilities more in the run game as a lead blocker.
And I say that because obviously coming off our conversation, I think if you really want to give the offense a chance to succeed and Tua and a deep passing game, Madison and Ollie must be a part of it. You and I talked about this. This is in hindsight. I was terrified last year. I wanted to even bench Achane, remember, in the last couple of games, because I said, this season's over. I am tired of wearing that kid out. I was terrified that he was going to break down. He's not a big kid. And if you go into the season doing the same crap that you did last year, he will break down. I can guarantee you that. So for me, if Madison and Ollie, and by the way, running backs don't mean shit to me in any round. I think running backs can be impactful in any round. Running backs are not a thing I measure by where you were drafted. I measure by your physical ability, and if you can, I remember arguing with Omar about Ajayi. Remember that? Oh no, I don't see it. Are you kidding me? Like the rookie year, he was injured, and then in the last month and a half, he came out and had a couple games, and I love what I saw from Ajayi. And Omar was like, "Nah, I don't see him as an every down back." And I go, "Bro, yes, you can see it." And then the next year, he had 1,100 yards, and so. To me, I don't believe in that in any running back. I think running backs can be impactful. So I believe that Madison and Ollie, if they're not impactful, David, that's going to be a huge setback for the offense. Let's put it that way. I don't know if you agree or not, but if you can't power run, you're not going to get where you need to get to, especially in December and January. God forbid. Yes, I would love it. February. Let me say it. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, you need to lighten the workload on Devon Achane, and so there's two things. You need to do that, and you need to bring a more physical element to the run game. And Achane's not the one that's going to do that. You want him playing in space. So let the physical backs do the physical running, and then let Achane. So fewer overall touches, but just being more efficient with them, putting him in space where he can break one at any moment. So let him do the home run hitting stuff, and then have the two backs that you brought in to be physical, and Jalen Wright. He can also be physical.
Punish, bro.
And he has made some strides this offseason.
Give him a little Ingold. Give him a little Ollie. Give him a little Madison. Punish, and then release the Kraken. And then all of a sudden, Achane out in the open field, and they're like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, dude. Let's go. That's what I want to see. I mean, when we've had great running games in the past, it's because we've had a little punch to it, man. Whether it's Lamar, whether it's AJ, whether it's Zonka, whether it's Ricky. You know, when you've had a running game, you've had some punch. And then you've had a Tony Page that would sit you on your ass. That's what I'm talking about.
When you have 31, let Achane get a breather, and then give it to either Madison or Gordon, physical back. Let them run between in the A gap between either Daniels and Brewer, Savaiinaea and Brewer, or gap between Patrick Paul, who's a mammoth of a tackle, in the B gap there between him and Savaiinaea, and let them do some work. And then you get the first down, and you bring Achane back on, so that after you just pounded them, now he can come out into space, and while the defenses are covering Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle deep, you can throw a little flat route to Devon Achane, and he's breaking up for 20 yards after the catch.
Right. Exactly. I'm with you there, man. I'm with you there. By the way, just so we keep it, we keep it real, and we want to make sure that we tell people that, 'cause sometimes people will throw stuff out there, and then it's not accurate. So I just want to throw it out there. What's it called, Ted? Because I was talking about running QBs. He put that Steve Young was a running QB. Is a key thing that you must remember in the history, Ted. You may not know your history in football, but I do, my brother. And Steve Young started as a running quarterback. And then Walsh put him aside and said, I need you to win the Super Bowl. So I need you to stay in the pocket more. And if you look, the year where he kind of won the Super Bowl and all of that kind of stuff, can you look it up for me exactly? He probably ran less that year. Okay. And he learned to take less hits, and he started to run less in his career, and he stayed in the pocket and became more, because he had the ability of being a pocket passer, whereas Lamar Jackson does not have the ability of being a pocket passer. He must be a running quarterback in order to be an effective quarterback. Steve Young learned that he did not have to settle with his legs. And by the way, he was a fantastic, fearless runner that even took on hits, and he would even drive his body into people, which was extremely stupid. And he learned that to stop being stupid. Steve Walsh taught him to stop being stupid, and then he won the Super Bowl, my friend. So yes, he was a running quarterback that learned to tame that talent and that skill so he can win a title. Okay, until Lamar Phillips ended his career coming off Europe football with the Barcelona Dragons. He had 1,000 yards with the Barcelona Dragons, maybe 1,100 yards. And he signed with the Niners because they needed a running back badly. And guess what? Lawrence Phillips missed a block on a blitz, and that was the last concussion of Steve Young's career, and he retired. So there's your history lesson, young man. Steve Young was a running quarterback until he learned, stop running. Anyway, what do you got going on in the South Florida Sun Sentinel with a little coverage of the Panthers?
Yeah, traveling to Edmonton, so on my way over there now on this short turnaround in the series. So I'll be there tomorrow night to cover Game 5. So got Game 6 as well, and then we'll also be still on the Dolphins beat. So I'm trying to get a Cam Smith story up sometime next week. I'll get back to some leftover items from minicamp, and we'll be on watch for Jalen Ramsey trade news, Johnny Smith, all that stuff, signing a corner, all these things that the Dolphins still need to do in the 5 weeks before training camp opens.
All right, good shit. As always, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and reach out to our friends at Welton Rheaume. They make this happen. They make this segment happen, and they make it happen every single day for us here on the show, and we appreciate it. Jeff Welton, Daniel Rheaume, bankruptcy, which unfortunately, a lot of Americans are dealing with it. Our credit card debt is at its highest our country has ever had. It is a big issue, and you know what? It can happen to me. It can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. Do not be ashamed. You need help. Reach out to Welton Rheaume. They can help you. Those creditors are killing you and they're bothering you. Let's get them off your back. 954-966-4646. Homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. And remember, we're in hurricane season now. God forbid we get hit by a storm anywhere in Florida. If you do and you suffer any kind of damage, don't call the insurance companies. That's the worst thing you can do. You call Welton Rheaume, they have their own adjusters. They will send their adjusters to your house, and then they will attack the insurance company. Attack. 954-966-4646. Safe travels to you, young man. We will catch up next week, my friend. Go Panthers.
Sounds good. Have a good weekend. Let's get it back to South Florida. 3-2 Panthers.
That's right. Bring some good luck, damn it. Later. David Furones, baby. Welton Rheaume.
This has been another session of the Welton Rheaume Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rheaume, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rheaume can help.
Dow is still down 412 points. The S&P's down 25. The NASDAQ down about a half a point. Bitcoin is climbing now, trying to make it now to 106. It's at 105,674. So it is actually climbing back as expected. Always bounces back. But if you bought the dip, good for you. Did you get anything there? Did you find anything? I don't know what year. They won in 80-something. But I know that he
he won 89, 90, and 95.
What year? But that was some of the Montana years, right?
Well, it said he was 3-0 in the Super Bowl.
Steve Young?
I'm going off what this.
Oh no, but he was a backup in those other.
Did they count the backup ones?
Yeah, they must. They must, Doggy. He only won one. It was the one that. It was the last one. Whatever those 3 years is.
95.
That was it. That was it.
He rushed 50 times for 250 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. He had 500-yard rushings. If you look at it, he used to run a lot at BYU. Oh my God. His stats at BYU. Holy shit. The LA Express, so just so we get, let's just get things right, 10, let's just be accurate. Okay, let's be accurate. All right. It's very important to be accurate. Pound the rock for 3/4 of the game with the heat and humidity. There won't be a pass rush. Then Tua can pick the defense apart. Plus running the ball, transfers to cold weather games. Dave, what are you doing with common sense here, bro? What are you doing with intelligence? What is wrong with you, Dave? Okay, talk radio is built on stupidity, morons, and just people saying dumb things. You are bringing intelligence and common sense. What is wrong with you? It's not supposed to be a part of the show. Oh, man. You keep telling us you got to put a team. Greer put this team together in the field. That's right. He did, and he should have kept Rob Hunt. And he should have kept Chris Jones. What was the name of the kid last year? The big back that we gave away, and then he just was running all over us. Chris Brooks. Yeah. But remember when in the press conference when he said, I listened to my coaches too much, and that's probably what it is, dude. I'm not defending that. What I'm telling you is the Duke can find a lot of talent. Nobody's found more talent in the last 5, 6, 7 years than that guy. In our last 30, nobody's been doing that. And it's just a matter of keeping the right dudes, letting go of the right dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then getting the right coach. But I think we got our quarterback. You just got to build it right. Nobody's gotten a quarterback better than this one. I'm not defending everything, and I'll argue with you about Tua till the death. The Chris Greer thing, those of you that want him fired, bro, I can't argue with you. Nothing's worked. You go for it. But I do like the personnel side of it. There's too much talent that's come through, bro. I kind of want to bottle that. That part I want to bottle, and then I want to kind of fine-tune this. You know what I mean? So, but that's fine. If you disagree with me, I can tell you're full of shit about Tua. I can't tell you that about Chris Greer because it has not worked. So you have all the right there. That's it. That's fine. It's the ball's on your court. You've got all the proof, everything else. For me, I got everything on my side with Tua. The only thing, my knock on Tua is stop being stupid and selling your body out because you don't have that body, you idiot. That's all. Like a lot of quarterbacks don't have the body to be throwing it around and taking on contact. That's not what they're supposed to do. I never wanted Marino seeking contact. Just never. Why would I? If I'm a Tom Brady guy, why would I want him running in the open field? Oh my God, Tom, slide, stop. Peyton Manning, stop. I don't want those people touched if I'm one of the fans of those teams. Oh, man. Out in the open field, those people, you're like, oh, my God, I hope there's nobody around. They're going to take his head off. That's what you're saying every time when you have those stiffs running out there. No Kyle Lowry today, huh? Came early? Bastard. You know, Kyle Lowry knows that we're putting him on the show. We're exposing him for the garbage that he is. And he's now coming early to avoid camera time. We're starting the show at 8 a.m. next time. Okay. Lawrence Phillips was sadly a tortured soul who grew up foster. He was a bad dude, bro. I'm sorry. I got to meet him and see him, and yeah, I'm sorry. You can have bad upbringings. I mean, Wade had a bad upbringing. He's fine. You know what I'm saying? This kid that Jeff Ireland, you know, he was kind of a little bit of a character, but he really wasn't a criminal or anything. What's his name? Des Bryant. Mom was a prostitute. Dad was a pimp. All that stuff. And yeah, he was a little bit volatile on the field as a character, but he wasn't a criminal or anything. He doesn't hurt anybody. And he had a terrible upbringing. I think Zoe also was a foster child, I believe, right? And then raised by like a grandmother after or something. People have different kinds of... it's up to you to choose to be good or bad to people, dude. You know what I mean? And when you have chosen to be a bad person for a long time, yeah, no, when you're in college and you're dragging a woman by her weave down like, you know, several flights, yeah, dude, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't do that. I don't give you the easy out on that. Lots of people have problems. You don't have, that doesn't mean you, if you want to hurt yourself, that's sad. But once you start hurting other people, that's wrong. It's wrong. You hurt yourself, sad. Let's work with it. You're hurting others. No. That's where I draw the line. So sorry, Ted. The sympathy doesn't go that far. Not Antonio Brown, not any of these characters. Hey, Junior Seau was living with devils, with demons, the poor man. Did he hurt anybody along the way, really? No, he ended up taking his own life. The Kansas City linebacker, what was his name? He was also dealing with demons, then drove to the facility and shot himself right outside the facility. You remember that? You know, a lot of people live with demons. You know, Kurt Cobain lived with demons, and he hurt himself. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad. But once you start choosing to hurt other people, that's where I draw the line. I don't care. I'm not going to tolerate that. And I don't think anybody else should. And have any sympathy because you're constantly hurting other people? No, dude. No. That's it. Javon what? Belcher. That's the guy. Sad story. Huh? It was bad? Yeah, he shot himself in the chest or something, I remember. Oh yeah, he shot it. That's right. He shot his girlfriend. Wow. So that one was bad. See? It's terrible. Sucks. It is. What about Jeremy Shockey? I don't look at Jeremy Shockey that way. Jeremy Shockey was all right? I think he might have had a couple little issues or something, but nothing big. He was an emotional guy. I remember that. I don't remember really bad things with Jeremy Shockey. Did he do a lot of bad things? I don't think so, right? He was an emotional guy. He went through, overcame some injuries and stuff. I don't know Shockey to be a bad dude. I don't think so. My goodness, every time I hear Jeff Ireland's name, I just think of all the incompetence and bad decisions that guy made for our franchise. Yet he turned it around in New Orleans. I know, right? They made all the mistakes here. Spielman was terrible here, and then in Minnesota, he was outside of a quarterback. He did pretty good in Minnesota. He couldn't find a quarterback, but he found some. He built a pretty good team on both sides of the ball. Rick Spielman. He didn't have a bad run in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. Jeff Ireland has been a positive, So absolutely no justification for Phillips' behavior. Yeah, once you're hurting people, Ted, I can't forgive you for that. If you're hurting yourself, it's sad, and we can try to help you if you want to help and all that kind of stuff. But if you decide to hurt people, that's just not right, dude. And we can't do that, Big O, want to know what's a downgrade? Stephon Diggs went from playing with the team that owns the Dolphins to a team that's owned by the Dolphins. The Stephon Diggs, well, okay, they were owned by the Dolphins. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Okay? There's a new sheriff in town, and he's better than our sheriff. Oh, by the way, that sheriff beat our sheriff with a lesser quarterback. Down by 14 with lesser team, lesser quarterback, and down by 14 with 2 minutes left? Yeah. I thought he scored like 2 touchdowns in like 2 minutes. It's crazy. We didn't blitz him or anything, So Fangio may have been right sometimes about the team, but he was wrong sometimes in his coaching. By the way, there you go. Hialeah Park. Use the QR code. Get $100. All right, folks. I appreciate all of you out there. Thanks to the great Sean Stanley, as always. Thank you all for the well wishes. Tomorrow is 5 years anniversary for us here on the platform, and it's been a blessing, and look forward to many more years before we call it quits and retire. Because, we are getting closer and closer to relaxing and chilling with the wife, but we're not there yet. Hopefully we'll be here for a few more years if you guys will have us. Yes.
You're correct with the score 14, but they're saying the final 4.5, excuse me, the 4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes. Yeah, there you go. It's terrible, dude. That one hurt.
And believe it or not, the Dolphins had the ball twice and I think ran 36 seconds off the clock.
Our coaching is just so pathetic, dude. So pathetic. All right. Love you all out there. Thank you all. If you send in a donation, remember, you can still send in a donation every time you listen, day or night, whenever you're listening. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. You can always make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. We always love that. We will see you all, Saturday night for the Panthers and the Oilers Game 5 post-game show.
I just want to wish you a happy Father's Day, and to all the fathers listening, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you, sir, and happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Enjoy your Sunday. Go Panthers and go Fort Lauderdale United. Get that championship, man. Get that cup. Y'all be good.
This is the Big O Show. This is the